I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, CV. It's Sydney and Antonio here with your announcements for October 28th, 2020.
Teachers, please send any updates or announcements that you may have to cvtv@centralvalleysd.net.
If you are interested in earning volunteer hours, have a GPA of 85% or better, and are available after school twice a week for 1 hour, please see Mrs. Jones for an opportunity to volunteer in the CV tutoring program.
Do you have any interest in building a stronger future or expanding your knowledge on business? Well, FBLA is the perfect club for you. FBLA gives you the opportunity to strengthen leadership skills that will prepare you for college or the business world.
By being a member, you will stand out to colleges and universities as FBLA looks great on your college applications. As of right now, the State Leadership Conference in Hershey is still on for April. Join FBLA today for your chance to join in the fun. Dues are $12. See any of the officers, Mikey Spinelli, Eva Conti, Lily Cassida, Kaylee Delata, Victoria Sharetta, Taylor Anderson, or Rachel Pastrick, or Miss Dewan for more details.
Our Central Valley Warriors will be taking on East Allegheny this Friday, October 30th at home at 7 p.m. Tickets will be sold Thursday during both lunch periods. Tickets will be $7. The student section will be against the hillside near the CV band.
That's all we have for you today, CV.
Now here's Elise and Tyler with your sports.
Good morning, CV. It's Tyler and Elise here with your daily sports.
WPIAL playoffs round 1 will be at home at 7 o'clock. We will be facing East Allegheny. Ticket sales begin tomorrow and will be $7 each.
Girls volleyball won last night against Chartiers Valley 3-0 in the first round of playoffs. They play in the second round tomorrow against Montour away at 7 o'clock.
That's all we have for your sports today, CV. Now here's a special segment on Halloween history with Tyler and Jordan. Also another weekly segment of This Week in History.
Okay. Good morning, CV. Welcome to another CVTV special segment.
As you may know, it's the spookiest month of the year, October. With skeletons and monsters on the rise, it's hard to miss the fact that Halloween is near.
The history of Halloween is something interesting, though. Some people may not know that Halloween was inspired by a Celtic festival called Samhain. The Celts believed that the new year started on November 1st, which symbolized the end of the warm seasons and the start of the dark, cold winters.
With the winter seasons commonly being associated with death, the Celts believed that the line between the living and the dead became blurred. The ghosts of the dead would return to earth and cause damage to crops and haunting people's houses. By celebrating Samhain, the people would dress up as monsters and scare off the spirits, as well as carve jack-o'-lanterns out of turnips, pumpkins, and other carvable fruit. Would then create massive bonfires to burn crops and sacrifice animals, and then relight their heart fires, which were put out earlier that evening with a fire from the bonfire.
The holiday of Halloween was evolved further when the Romans took over the Celtic lands and combined their holidays with the people. They honored the dead on Feralia and celebrated the Roman goddess Pomona. The goddess Pomona was the goddess of trees and fruits, so to honor her, people bobbed apples in water. This tradition is still carried on today, although with less meaning.
Many years later, Pope Boniface IV created the holiday All Saints' Day in order to honor Christian martyrs. This took place on November 1st. About 400 years ago, the Christian Church in Ireland invented the holiday of All Souls' Day. In order to honor the dead, this was called All Hallows Mass, which translates from Old English to All Souls' Day. This eventually led to it being called All Hallows' Eve or Halloween.
When the institution of the United States came about, the immigrants obviously would bring their holidays over, with Celtic immigrants bringing All Hallows' Eve. The holiday spread through the states with European beliefs that were merged with the American Indian beliefs. All Hallowmas have evolved into the Americanized Halloween we have today, which includes trick-or-treating, Halloween parties, house decorating, and more.
In the early 19th century, Halloween was not celebrated widely. This would change, though, as in the 19th century, the Americas were flooded with Irish immigrants from the potato famine. These immigrants spread the holiday through the United States. Trick-or-treating was adopted from European traditions, and Halloween parties were created from towns that didn't want to make the holiday about ghosts and witchcraft, but friendly get-togethers. People were encouraged to decorate their houses in scary or spooky things, bringing the rise of Halloween decorations.
Halloween really became relevant in the 1940s baby boom. The old tradition of trick-or-treating was a way for the community to celebrate Halloween cheaply and became very relevant thereafter. This was good for candy companies who earned a whopping 1/4 of all of their candy sales from Halloween. To dive into this long history lesson further, here's a video showcasing some important facts.
Halloween falls on October 31st each year in Britain, North America, and other parts of the world. Like many other holidays, Halloween has evolved and changed throughout history and is a mix of pagan and Christian tradition. Over 2,000 years ago, people called the Celts lived in what is now Ireland and parts of northern France. November the 1st was their New Year's Day, and they believed that the night before the New Year, on October the 31st, was a time when the living and the dead came together. More than 1,000 years ago, the Christian Church named November the 1st All Saints' Day, also called All Hallows. This was a special holy day to honour the saints and other people who died for their religion. The night before All Hallows was called Hallows' Eve. Later, the name was changed to Halloween. Like the Celts, the Europeans of that time also believed that the spirits of the dead would visit the earth on Halloween. They worried that evil spirits would cause problems or hurt them. So on that night, people wore costumes that looked like ghosts or other evil creatures. They thought if they dressed like that, the spirits would think they were also dead and not harm them. The tradition of Halloween was carried to America by the emigrating Europeans. Some of the customs changed a little though. For example, on Halloween in Europe, some people would carry lanterns made from turnips. In America, pumpkins were more common, so people began putting candles inside them and using them as lanterns. That is why you see jack-o'-lanterns today.
Currently, Halloween is a widespread and very well-known holiday. Its popularity is comparable to even Christmas. We hope you learned something today, CV. Have a great day.
Good morning, Central Valley, and welcome back for another segment of This Week in History. I'm your host, Tyler McCracken, and it's time for another look back in time. On Monday, October 26th, 1881, the most famous Wild West shootout occurred between lawmen and cowboys, resulting in 3 deaths. On Tuesday, October 27th, 1682, William Penn founded Philadelphia. Still, today, people are wondering if that was a good idea or not. Then, 55 years ago today, the famous St. Louis Arch is open to the public, and it stands for a monument for the westward expansion of the United States. On Thursday, October 29th, 1692, marked the end of the Salem witch trials, when people finally realized that spectral evidence should not decide if a person lives or dies. On Friday, October 30th, 1938, Orson Welles played the famous broadcast, The War of the Worlds. This broadcast caused mass panic among the American people, due to them tuning into the radio stations without hearing the announcement that it was fake. This broadcast was about a Martian invasion that the people thought were real and happening. This broadcast caused many people to flee their homes and scavenge for supplies. That is all that we have for you today, CV, for This Week in History. Tune in next week on Wednesday for another look back in time. Have a great rest of your day, CV, and remember, those who do not study history are doomed to repeat it.